You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Welcome once again to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show, and that's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live and a ton of other graphics across the network, and they're super affordable. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3KS.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber as we take you up to some Week 14 action, an AFC West battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Got a great game on hand, and we appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us. Now, before we get to the game at hand, let's talk about some news coming from around the network. And Bomber, this one is very pertinent to you. The Final Minutes, hosted by Bomber, one of our new shows on the NBL Network, just debuted. Give the viewers a little taste of what they can expect when they tune into an episode of the Final Minutes.
Yeah, you're going to want to check out the Final Minutes. Basically, it's a breakdown of any game that had any kind of drama in the second half. So it's not necessarily the last minutes of a game or the final minutes of a game. It's essentially the final minutes before the game was out of hand or over, or before a big interception that essentially ended the game. So we've had a lot of games like that, and we've had some great content towards the end of our streams that we essentially wanted to put back on the shelf for people to watch and still get some entertainment value in case you might have missed it. So if you missed the stream or you want to watch a stream over, like the big game we had was Broncos 49ers. I mean, it came down to some
the wire,
plays.
The wire on multiple occasions in that game.
On multiple occasions. I mean, it was just a crazy game. So we had that one. We also have another one coming up. I believe it's the Cowboys versus the Titans is going to be the next one, probably going up tomorrow night. So check it out, man. It's a really cool show. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. We'll have more and more coming out. We're trying to get a little backlog of about 8 or 9 so we can be putting them out throughout any down period we have between now and our start of NBL season 26, which will be under Madden 18. So really some interesting stuff. We got the EA Access tournament coming up. We have the playoffs and team selection, and we're going to be sprinkling those final minutes in as well for some great entertainment, especially if you're subscribed to the NBL Network.
Yeah, it's definitely a great way to check out some of those games you might have missed. I like to call it sort of a digestible version of the game. It's very short as opposed to watching the entire game, but it's a great way to sort of get a feel of what happened, and then hopefully you can tune into one of our live streams. So again, the Final Minutes, be looking for that throughout the year and throughout our future seasons. You can find them all here on the NBL Network YouTube channel. All right. I know this is going to be painful, Bomber, but we got to talk about it. The NBL Live broadcast number 111.
Unfamiliar?
Yeah.
111?
Yeah, 111. I know you probably, you weren't watching the stream because your Detroit Lions were busy.
I don't think I was watching the game.
They were getting thumped by the Washington Redskins, 26-3. Keith Marshall, what a game. He had 18 carries, 112 yards. Actually, let's before we throw it to you, Bomber, let's bring in the third member of our crew today. That is TFA. He'll be down manning the sidelines during the game. TFA, you got to watch this game. Let's go with the Washington Redskins. How impressed were you by this Redskins team?
I was very impressed. You know, they're the defending Super Bowl champions. You knew they were going to put up a good performance. I didn't think that we would see one quite like that. I definitely didn't see the final score being 26-3, and never would have guessed that it would have been that one-sided. All
right, Bomber. You are the owner of the Lions. What was the message in the locker room after this game, and does this change any of the goals going forward into the playoffs?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, we had a tough game 3 seasons ago, I believe, on NBL Live against a really tough Los Angeles Rams team. Maybe this was worse. It was definitely worse for our team, but there's a bigger picture here. And that season, we went on to win the Super Bowl. So you know, there's many outcomes that can come from this. You can either become depressed and hold that game over you and carry it into the next week, or you can shrug it off, get over it, and realize that the playoffs is really where it's at. And this is a team that's had our number since they threw a bomb to Josh Dotson 3 seasons ago. we had no problem with Washington, and Washington became an issue at that point on a miraculous comeback they had down 14 with about 3 minutes left. You can find that on the NBL Live broadcast as well. See, I'm plugging another game in which I lost to this team. That's how much I care about the network, but that was definitely an interesting game. There was about 3 minutes left. He was down 14. He threw a bomb to Josh Dotson, and it really opened the game up, then had an interception he got against Matt Stafford, targeting Eric Ebron. I remember it like yesterday. So this game I've pretty much forgotten. It's in the past. You just got to move forward. It was a good game, but I mean, if you're a Washington fan right now, you have to be feeling excited because you feel like you can win this division. You struggle versus the Cowboys this year. That's an interesting matchup. You like to see them face in the playoffs because you want to see which one is really the better team. Washington lost to them, and then they tied them later in the season. So it's going to be really kind of intriguing down the stretch. Which team is better in that division? I think Washington comes ahead of that division and gets the bye. But if they can somehow meet up in the playoffs, it's going to be a really great matchup.
It was interesting as we led into this game, and throughout the whole season 25, the one team that people weren't really mentioning as a possible favorite for the season 25 Super Bowl were those Washington Redskins, the defending Super Bowl champions, and they made a statement on NBL Live last night. Let's take a look at that NFC playoff picture while we have a moment. Of course, the division leaders we got as of right now, these are as of about 2 hours ago. The Lions, Redskins, Rams, and Panthers all the top of their division. Cowboys and Bears in the wild card. And then you got this group of teams in the hunt. Cardinals sitting there at 7-5. The Falcons at 6-6, still in the race for the division. The Packers also at 6-6. And the Saints at 6-7, having completed their Week 14 game. Bomber, if you're looking at those division leaders, Lions, Redskins, Rams, Panthers, is there a team in there that you think is going to lose its division spot, or do you think those four are sort of who's going to be the division leaders and it's going to be a wild card race?
The only one I could see falling off, and it's only one because it's close mathematically still, would be the Panthers, Falcons, Saints, but the Saints losing that 7th game, that kind of puts them out with me. They have a tough schedule. They have the Lions next week. So I'm not really sold. I think those are our 4 division winners. I could see the Rams creeping up and the Lions falling off. Lions have a really tough schedule. They have 2 division opponents at the end, and they're thirsty looking for wins. They have the Packers and the Vikings. But I'm more intrigued with that wild card spot with the Chicago Bears. This is a team that's 8-4. They've got 2 losses coming against a division opponent in the Detroit Lions. Outside of that, they've been pretty good. Cardinals need a little help right now, but it would be nice to see Arizona slide into that spot just because it's really good to see a team that's just really building. I like what they're doing with Allen James. I know he's had his ups and downs, but their defense seems to really be coming along strong, and I really like the Allen James, the Julio Jones connection.
Yeah, and look at this, something that is not on NBL Live, but it's something that I know people around the NBL will be watching. Here in Week 14, one of the games that hasn't happened yet, the Cardinals and the Falcons are facing off this week.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
That could be determining which one of those teams stays in the hunt in the NFC. Could be a very key game here in Week 14. Let's look at the AFC playoff picture because this is very relevant to our game tonight. Bengals at the top of that AFC North might be one of the bigger surprises. They're sitting there at 10-3. Jaguars, Dolphins, and Raiders also division leaders. This AFC wildcard is going to be crazy going down to the wire. Steelers currently at the top of the wildcard. Bills sitting there at 7-5. But also, look at that in the hunt. The Chiefs at 7-5. The Broncos at 7-5. The only reason they're technically in the hunt right now is Bills have the tiebreaker in the wildcard, and the Raiders have already played their game this week at 8-5. So really, essentially, Bomber, we have 3 teams in the AFC West fighting for 1 to 2 playoff spots, and this game tonight is one of those key games that we'll be looking back on at the end of the year and saying whether or not this was the reason one of these teams got in.
Well, first, congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that division. That's going to do wonders for their fan base. That's going to do wonders for their organization as they continue to grow as a franchise. Really proud of those guys because, the odds-on favorite was the Tennessee Titans coming into this season. They won it last year, and then you thought maybe Doughboy, the owner of those Houston Texans, had his coaching staff, had his general manager together this offseason. They had a big meeting. They didn't make a big splash in free agency. They thought they had the talent to come back and win that division, and it just didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, these Jacksonville Jaguars, who are wild cards the last couple seasons, come in to make a big, strong play, and they take over that division. So congratulations to them. But we really got to say, man, how deep is this AFC West? All 4 teams mentioned in this graphic. I mean, this is a graphic that holds 10 teams in the AFC, if my math is right. So you look at that and you say 40% of them coming from one division, top to bottom. Also, big shout out to the Cleveland Browns. They keep chugging away. They're in a really tough division with the Steelers and the Bengals. They've been fighting this entire Madden cycle. So big shout out to them for staying in the hunt and fighting to the final whistle of every game. A really tough team, but the Chargers, man, they're one of those teams that are just in a really bad division right now. Maybe if we went 2 or 3 more seasons, we could see them kind of rise up. But right now, they're just so outmatched physically on the field.
Yeah, those 6 and 7 teams, they've played their Week 14 games. The Cleveland Browns lost a thumper to the New York Jets, 44-16. And the San Diego Chargers lost 34-20 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll see if those teams stay in the hunt. I think those 7 and 5 teams are probably in the best position in that AFC West. And that takes us to our game we got this week. It is the Broncos and the Chiefs, an AFC West battle. In their first meeting of the season, the Chiefs won handily. And something that's interesting coming in to the newsroom that I don't know when it happened, but no Paxton Lynch today. He has been their quarterback for this entire cycle, and Lynch will not be playing. He is injured for the day, and coming in, it's going to be Corey Lott, a practice squad player that the Broncos picked up off the Chiefs practice squad. So a chance for, I don't know if it's a little revenge bomber. This is a guy who was on the practice squad, was getting a chance there. The Broncos take a flyer on him, and he's going to have to start today on NBL Live in Week 14, trying to keep his Broncos not only in the playoff hunt, but to break the Porter curse 0-8 on NBL Live.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos have not won a game on NBL Live. Both of these teams are currently 7 and 5. Paxton Lynch, who was having an NBL career year, 96.5 QBR, 21 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, and 65% completion. He's out. He's not playing. TFA told us that earlier. He's not going to be playing. We got TFA in Kansas City right now, being as a sideline reporter for this game. But what's really important is the fact that they're starting Corey Lott. When I saw them pick him up off the Kansas City practice squad, I assumed they picked him up for a little intel. This is a huge game. I thought they want to know a little bit about this offense to help their defense, but now they're going to start the young fella, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with this kind of division rival kind of game. Is he just too young and inexperienced to know what he's getting into, or is he going to be shook from the beginning? Time will tell from the young rookie from Kansas State.
All right, and let's get ready to send it out to the game. Enough waiting. If people want to see this AFC West battle, Bomber, who do you like in this game? Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to take a hold of what we believe may be the AFC West, for sure a hold of a playoff spot with a win today? Or is the young Corey Lott going to find a way to break the Porter curse, the Denver Broncos winless on NBL Live, really just break everything that people think is going to happen and manage to get a win for the Denver Broncos?
Well, I like the Denver Broncos, but I love the Kansas City Chiefs, so I'm going Kansas City 38, Denver 24, and if this game's going to be, and I'm talking, they'll probably get 10 points in trash time, it's going to be a blowout in my eyes. I see Kansas City walking away with it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, get your predictions in the chat, folks, but we're ready for game time. We appreciate everyone tuning into the Web3KS pregame show, but it is NBL Live time coming up right now. It is an AFC West battle for the division, for the playoffs, and for all the marbles. It is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
You are watching the best in the business, the king of the franchise mode, the Madden Bomber League, only on the NBL Network.
The pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure, fires to the end zone. It's caught! It's Greg Lewis! Touchdown! Oh my heavens! Greg Lewis! Welcome to Minnesota!
Back, he's got open over the middle of his goodness, and he is into the end.
That big playmaker
Look at
ability,
him
he
go!
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing greatness. If you don't like that, you don't like NBL football. And we got a great game on tap for you tonight, folks. It is the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Two 7-5 teams fighting for the division and a playoff spot here in Kansas City. I'm Oshu. I'm hanging out with my man, Bomber. Let's send it down to the third member of our crew, TFA. TFA, you've been on the sidelines throughout this game. You're getting ready to see what the young Corey Lott has in store. You've been able to see him throughout warmups. What is the young quarterback looking like? Does he look rattled at all playing here, not only on the road, but on NBL Live?
You know, he looked pretty good in the pregame. I think he's really ready to get out and face his former team. He knows a lot about this Chiefs team, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can capitalize on how their defense plays.
Yeah, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to end up starting with the ball first in this game. This is a Kansas City offense, very middle of the road. They have a great rushing attack with Lawrence Ganther, but passing, they are in the bottom 6, 26th in the NBL through the air. Something that is very surprising with the talent they have had, not only the wide receiver position, but also the quarterback position. With Trey McIntyre, they've struggled to move the ball through the air. And McIntyre's going to come out breaking the huddle. He's going to come out under center I formation. Lawrence Ganther at the top of that I. Two wide receivers over to the left, one tight end on the right side of that formation. 1st and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line. It's going to be a toss play to Ganther over the left side, and this one well scouted by the Denver Broncos. Losing 2 yards is Lawrence Ganther. Bomber, we know the Kansas City Chiefs not only love to run the ball, but they love running it outside the tackles. The Denver Broncos did their homework on that play.
Yeah, first play, first run, and we said earlier, this is not a passing team anymore. This is a running team. They're top 5 in the NBL, averaging 92.3 yards per carry. They're not looking to get it all in one chunk. You know, this is a turtle race for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're gonna slowly ground and pound you, and they're gonna work their way down the field running the ball. They're not gonna be concerned about 1 yard loss on the first drive.
And hand off to Ganther once again. He's only gonna get those 2 yards back, so it's gonna bring up a third, and they'll call it a long 9 just past the 20-yard line. And you have to assume here on 3rd and 9, we're gonna see Trey McIntyre airing the ball out, the young, talented quarterback who has managed to shake the moniker of TM3INT. It's what he was known as through his first seasons in Kansas City, through a lot of interceptions, but under new owner Timbo, he has found a way to be a star. The Kansas City Chiefs have been just one of the more solid teams the last couple seasons in the NBL. 3rd and 9, ball on the 20-yard line. McIntyre in the shotgun with Lawrence Ganther. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like they're trying to set up a screen pass to Ganther. Ganther has it, and a nice open field tackle made on the right side to keep Ganther from getting anything more than 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4, and if you're the Denver Broncos, who's coming in as the 25th ranked defense scoring-wise in the NBL, you got to be pretty happy about stopping the Kansas City offense on a 3-and-out in the first drive.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that play call for Kansas City. Trey McIntyre, obviously not a quarterback that really is going to drive the ball down on 3rd and long situations. He likes to catch the defense a little off guard. Hit him with a little play action to Gunther, and then look to drive the ball down the field, slide, boot concepts, easy reads. That's how they like to get them going. So when they get themselves in a 3rd and long early, they're willing to punt because they have one of the most perennial defensive players in the game. At cornerback, they have 2 of them, Marcus Peterson and Jalen Ramsey. These are 2 guys that can get it done on defense for Kansas City, and they will definitely rely on their defense today.
Yeah, especially with the young Corey Lott starting the game. Again, picked up off the Chiefs practice squad. Starting today in place of the injured Paxton Lynch, who has led this offense all year. Handoff on 1st down goes nowhere. Loss of 1 for McIntosh. This is the number 8th passing attack in the NBL, and it was led by Paxton Lynch. Down with an injury, we get to see the young Corey Lott starting today, folks. Should be interesting, especially with those 2 talented cornerbacks on the side of Kansas City. Lott's going to break the huddle now. He's going to come out with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends on the right side of that formation. McIntosh in the backfield. Lott's going to be under center. Sharp coming in motion, and he's going to throw his first pass here in the NBL Live, and he completes it on a little corner out to the tight end. Down to the 49-yard line. Give him 11 yards and a big 1st down, and maybe, I don't know if you can hear that, Bomber, that might be a big sigh of relief from the young Corey Lott.
When in doubt, corner out. That's the slogan in Denver right now. When you got a quarterback that really he isn't established. They don't know what they're going to get from him today. I know fans really need this game. This is a make or break for Denver. If they lose this game, the chances of them making the playoffs drastically fall, because then it'll probably be the Raiders, Chiefs battling for this division, one of them taking the wild card.
Lott taking a deep shot. Oh, just overthrew his man.
Oh,
wow, he had him wide open down the left side, press coverage, and his man was able to beat the cornerback, one of the talented quarterbacks. I believe that was Marcus Peters on the left side. He just overthrew it. Maybe a little bit of adrenaline right now. It's going to fall to the ground incomplete. So you got a good play, and then they give him a deep shot on a second pass here on NBL Live. And, well, he didn't throw an interception, so that's got to be a positive for the young Corey Lott.
Wow. Actually, that's an amazing, amazing little gut check right there. He's letting the defense know, hey, man, I'm not just going to drive the ball underneath. I'm going to take a shot down the field, and you're going to have to be honest against me. Even though I'm a rookie, this is my first start in the NBL. I'm still going to come out here and be aggressive because I have to.
Tufts come to motion, 2nd and 10. It's going to be handoff to McIntosh. He has a big hole over the right side of that formation. He's going to get up to the 46-yard line, give him 5 yards on that play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. And, Bomber, would you agree with what may be an obvious point, which is if Corey Lott is going to be successful in this game, the running game has to be effective for the Denver Broncos?
Absolutely. The running game has to carry this team, and you just get a little sprinkle of Corey Lott in here and there. If he would have converted on that big go route here a couple plays ago, that could have been big for this Denver offense. That could have given them the confidence that they needed, play with the lead, and allow their defense to really hold them.
3rd and 5, shotgun formation for Lott and the Broncos, 4 wide receivers. He's been dropping back to pass here on 3rd down, looks over the middle, it's tipped up, and it's intercepted by Arnold, who's able to come down with a deflected ball, and that is exactly what you don't want for a young quarterback. Throws an interception on his first drive. That one maybe not have been totally his fault, Bomber, but it was a dangerous throw into tight coverage, and sometimes you just get those bounces and ends up going the other way.
This could get real ugly really quickly with a quarterback like this. First drive, it seems like he's got a little confidence going. Overthrows a go route and then gets an unfortunate tipped interception a couple plays later. So let's see if he can bounce back. This is a young rookie. This is his first start in the NBL, and he's straight off the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad.
1st and 10, pistol formation for Trey McIntyre, Lawrence Ganther in the back of that pistol formation. 2 wide receivers. On 1st down, it's going to be a play-action pass. Rush gets there, and McIntyre gets hit. He was looking, it looked like he was just looking for 2 go routes down the sidelines, but the Denver Broncos able to get a little bit of pressure there. Hit Trey McIntyre. First time he's been put on his back today, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Not falling for the play action. This is a team that really relies on a lot of play action because they get their running game going, and you have to respect the run game, and it really opens up things over the top, downfield for these really speedy receivers.
2nd and 10 now. It's going to be McIntyre under center, 2 wide receivers, and Lawrence Ganther in the backfield. 2nd and 10. Rush comes. Down goes McIntyre. He is sacked by Brown. 7-yard loss on the play. McIntyre's just sat in the pocket a little too long. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 17. And if you're the Denver Broncos, you got to be happy with how your defense is playing early in this game.
You definitely do. I mean, this is a team that lost Von Miller to the Kansas City Chiefs, but the defense hasn't lost the step since they lost their general. As you see right there, a linebacker comes in there and makes a nice sack. Going to put them in a really 3rd and long for this Kansas City offense.
And now 3rd and 17. McIntyre under center, 4 wide receivers. Lawrence Ganther in the backfield here on 3rd and 17. Ball's on the 30-yard line. It's going to be McIntyre dropping back to pass. Short drop. He looks over to the left side. It is complete to Adams, who goes out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Just give him plenty on that play, Bomber, and it sure felt like this was a tendency of the Kansas City Chiefs. They love running those deep out routes, and they were able to get one there.
Yeah, you got to know better. You got to do your scouting. This is a division rival. This is a division team. You play them twice a year. You have to know better than that. You have to understand if you don't press up and guard the sticks, you're going to be giving up a lot to these Kansas City Chiefs, and that's such an easy throw for Trey McIntyre to make.
I formation now for McIntyre and the Kansas City Chiefs. Conley's going to come over to the left side of that formation, putting both wide receivers on the left. 1 tight end on the right side, and Lawrence Ganther in the backfield. 1st and 10. It's going to be handoff to Ganther over the right side. He's got a lot of room over there. Nice open field tackle, though. Able to bring down Ganther for only a 9-yard gain. It could have been much worse for the Denver Broncos defense, as it looked like Ganther had a lot of room over there. Instead, it's just going to fall down into a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, nice open field tackle for Denver. We've seen a couple of them already. Opportunities for Kansas City to get some big gains. And the defense is just quick. I mean, they have a really athletic secondary. Their safeties can come out and make open field tackles and soak in their linebackers.
Wow, big run up the middle for Ganther. Did he get enough for the 1st down? They're going to say he did. He just got the ball over the line. Nice tackle made on the interior there by Tuitt, able to wrap up the very elusive Lawrence Ganther. Ganther taking over for TJ Yeldon in the middle of last year. Ownership was not happy with how Yeldon was performing. He is out, and in comes Lawrence Ganther, and he has been a breath of fresh air in Kansas City. What a young player this is here in season 25 of the NBL. 1st and 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 wide receivers over to the right, 1 to the left. Lawrence Ganther in the backfield, and Kansas City, McIntyre changing up the play, finally gets a Hail Mary timeout from the sidelines. McIntyre, again, Bomber, they're one of the worst passing teams in the NBL, but this is a guy who has all the tools to be an effective passer. Is it just purely because the coaches don't have confidence in him to not throw interceptions?
Well, they're a different kind of team. They're a defense-first team and a ground-and-pound team. So they really ask for a lot of efficiency out of the quarterback. As nice run there by Lawrence Ganther, picks up quite a few. Going to put him to a 2nd and 2. But they run plays like that. I mean, you think that the pass is coming. You know they have such a talented quarterback with TM3, but they can just really just ground and pound you and just get your defense off balance just enough where it allows Trey McIntyre to make the right throw and make the big play.
2nd and 2, I formation for McIntyre and the Chiefs. Ganther's going to get the ball here on 2nd down. He has a big hole. He's got the 1st down and much more as he moves inside the red zone to the 18-yard line. Give him 14 yards on that play. Bomber, the word I've heard thrown around about the Kansas City Chiefs, you hear that word gimmick offense, and we know the Kansas City Chiefs like a lot of misdirection, play action, swing passes, but would you call this Kansas City offense a gimmick offense?
Well, they're playing to their strengths. No, I think TM3 in college was obviously a big play kind of quarterback. He came into a system. He's more of a system quarterback now. He's still adapting. And they're going to run the ball. As you see, they just consistently run the ball. They'll consistently run the ball, and then they'll bring you in, and then they'll make the play action, and it'll be wide open. And it'll be a perfect call, and that's how this team plays. Now, if you can somewhat control the run, and I can't say you can stop it because it's very tough to stop a running attack that Kansas City has, but if you can somewhat contain it, you give yourself an opportunity to play against TM3 without this crazy unfair advantage where he can play action and just find guys wide open.
I formation for the Kansas City Chiefs. Trey McIntyre under center. 2 tight ends on the right side of that formation. 1 wide receiver, that is Adams. Split out alone to the left side, 2nd and 1. McIntyre, quick drop. He's going to toss it to the flat to Lawrence Ganther, who has the 1st down and more. He's going to be up to the 6-yard line. Nice job by McIntyre there. You know he wanted to throw to the slant route coming across the middle, but he waited and made sure that he made the smart throw, which was to the running back coming out of the backfield. As we hit the 2nd quarter, it's scoreless here in Kansas City.
Yeah, nice decision right there. That's one thing in college. Trey McIntyre would 100% have tried to hit that slant route. He would have said, I have a strong arm. I'm going to take that throw and try to squeeze it in there. And even early in his career, he was a big gunslinger at UCLA, but he's making the check down in the right read now.
What a tackle on Lawrence Ganther in the backfield. They tried a little toss play. Denver brought a blitz, and Mixon able to bring down Lawrence Ganther for a 5-yard loss back at the 11-yard line. Denver doing their homework at what Kansas City likes to do inside the red zone, able to bring down Lawrence Ganther for a big loss. Now it's a 2nd and goal, ball on the 11-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 4 Trey McIntyre under center with Lawrence Ganther. He's going to be dropping back up, pass here on 2nd down, looks over the middle of the field, and a big hit late on Adams, unable to come up with that catch. And now it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line. And Bomber, we know Kansas City likes to run those deep outs, deep comebacks, but when you're here in the red zone, you have much less room, and this might play to the strengths of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I think TM3, the biggest issue I have with Trey McIntyre, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, is the fact that he feels a little under pressure when he's not. The line had great protection for him that play. He should have let that crossing route develop a little bit more. Let the zone set. He would have had a guy open, but he threw it a little bit too early and really rushed it.
And McIntyre's going to go down. 2nd sack of the day for the Denver Broncos defense, bringing down McIntyre on the rollout. And Bomber, I don't know if you can hear that. The Boo Birds are out early here in Kansas City as McIntyre takes his 2nd sack of the day back at the 20-yard line. And now the Chiefs are going to be forced to settle for what is going to be a 37-yard field goal attempt. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. In Kansas City, an early 3-0 lead, but the crowd a little restless here in Kansas City.
This is a spoiled franchise. This is a team that when their offense gets within the red zone, they expect to score 8 out of 10 times, not back-to-back sacks or a running play that gets tackled for a loss. This is not a custom for these fans, and they're showing their disappointment with it. But really, Kansas City played it smart. I mean, it just wasn't there. They ran a toss play. They didn't get nothing. He threw it underneath. They didn't get nothing, and he took a sack. I mean, that's how it goes. Sometimes they took 3. They didn't turn it over, so now they got points on the board, and that's something to build from.
Let's send it down to the 3rd member of our crew, TFA. TFA, Corey Lott comes off the field. He throws his first NBL interception, a tip ball, one that wasn't necessarily his fault. What was his attitude coming off the field, and what was the message from the coaching staff?
The message from the coaching staff was actually to take the easy throws. Don't worry about making any forced throws. He actually patted the defensive line as they came off the field there, thanked them for getting him back on there. Only down 3. I think he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder this drive.
Well, he certainly has a bigger chip now as Von Miller with a big sack on 1st down. Welcome to the NBL, youngin'. You get welcomed by the glasses linebacker, Von Miller. His play action pass. And Lott, oh, that's just an easy interception. Got hit sort of as he threw, but well covered over there looking for Tajay Sharp. And Jalen Ramsey comes up with the pick. They are feasting on the young quarterback early here in Kansas City, Bomber. And if game keeps going like this could turn into an ugly one.
Yeah, you got to have more patience. Maybe pull this young rookie early. They have a backup quarterback with a little bit more experience in Jackson Kinder. He's obviously a rookie as well from Ohio, but he started for them the last couple games. Not the best QBR, about 62 to 64, but he just seemed to have a little bit more control and a little more pace.
1st and 10 now. The Kansas City Chiefs, great field position. They're in the red zone on the 18-yard line. 5 wide receivers for Trey McIntyre as he drops back to pass. Looking over to the left side. Oh, lucky that one wasn't intercepted. He was looking for Conley. One-on-one coverage, and McIntyre did not make the best throw in the world. Got to throw that to the outside shoulder. He threw it to the inside shoulder, and it was lucky that one wasn't intercepted. Instead, it falls to the ground. Now it's a 2nd and 10. Pistol formation for Trey McIntyre. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for McIntyre, as it's going to be a play-action pass. McIntyre throwing it once again. He is pursued, and he's going to just tuck this one out of bounds. Smart play, throwing it out of the field of play. But Bomber, they're on the 18-yard line. They're facing a 3rd and 10, and Lawrence Ganther hasn't touched the ball in this drive.
You see some great rivalry between Kansas City and Denver, and you're really thinking to yourself, man, Denver really knows what to expect from Kansas City. They've stopped a play-action end-around, another play-action boot. These are the passes that are usually easy for Trey McIntyre to make.
McIntyre in the shotgun, 3rd and 10. He's going to be passing it, looks over to the left side. It's complete to Adams, makes a man miss, hurdles into the end zone. No, he's just short. Don't know how that wasn't called a touchdown. It looked like he hit the inside of that pylon, but they're going to call him down at the 1-yard line. But what a play by Adams, as he made a great move towards the end zone. Is going to set up a 1st and goal.
Put him on a little 5-yard out. He caught the ball, ran for yards after the catch. That's what's big for this Kansas City team. They like to get rid of the ball early. They always preach that to Trey McIntyre, get rid of it early, get rid of it early. And that's how you allow yourself to take them shots over the top. You bring the defense in. As here goes Kansas City.
Yeah, Lawrence Ganther walking into the end zone. Yeah, half a yard away. You just give the ball to Lawrence Ganther. He's into the end zone. Kansas City up 9-0 as the ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. And Kansas City extends it to a 10-0 lead. And if you were a Denver Bronco fan hoping to find the next diamond in the rough in Corey Lott, well, he's thrown 2 picks here in the first half, and we'll see if he comes out. Let's throw it down to TFA. Any discussion of pulling Corey Lott on the sidelines?
Not yet. They were going to stick with him. They're just getting out of their game plan right now. They told them to stick to the game plan. Their game plan coming in was to limit the turnovers, make the easy throws, and they're really getting away from that right now. They're trying to force some things. So they told him to be patient, wait for the throws, and his wide receivers have to get open.
If you're a young quarterback starting on NBL Live and you got all the pressures of division, the playoff spot, the Porter curse, you just got to settle down out there, young fella, and just make the right throws. It's going to be Corey Lott in the shotgun with McIntosh. 3 wide receivers over the left side, 1 tight end on the right. 1st and 10 for the Denver Broncos, looking to get something going on the offensive side of the ball. Lott changing up the play like a veteran as he surveys the defense. 1st and 10. He's going to hand it off to McIntosh. McIntosh has a big hole. He's going to get up to the 31-yard line, just short of the 1st down marker. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 1. Bomber, this Kansas City defense is the 4th worst rushing defense in the NBL. You got to think McIntosh has to be a big part of this Denver offense.
Yeah, Chantrell McIntosh has had a great career. And you see the issues with Denver's, Kansas City's defense, They make a lot of adjustments before the ball is snapped, and it puts them out of position. As right there, McIntosh just walks for about 9 yards.
Yeah, McIntosh then on 2nd and 1. Gale's able to break into the backfield. Looked like McIntosh might have had a hole, but Gale shut the door on that one, is able to bring him down for a 1-yard loss. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the for the Denver Broncos, looking to get something going down 10-0 here on the road, looking to stay in this game. Again, if you're just joining us, no Paxton Lynch. He is injured. It is the young Corey Lott picked up off the Chiefs practice squad. And it's been a rough start for him. He's thrown 2 interceptions to start this game. Kansas City up 10-0. I formation, 2 tight ends for Corey Lott is on 3rd and 2. It's going to be a play-action pass. He's going to look over to the right side. Lott delivers it to his own teammate, and is able to get a 1st down to the 44-yard line. Another one of those easy corner routes for Corey Lott. He finds Waller for 14 yards and a big 1st down that might settle down the young quarterback.
Relying on your tight end is a smart decision for this young quarterback. He needs a little bit of a safety blanket and a big target that he can hit, and he's starting to find that with this tight end. Now I'm going to be interested to see if they can get this running game just a little more established. Let's stay with it a little bit longer, and let's see if this guy can, do the impossible and defeat these Kansas City Chiefs.
Not under center. First and 10. He's going to be dropping back to pass. He's looking over to the left side. Has a man wide open. It is complete. And another first down. Corey Lott back-to-back completions. And the Denver Broncos are down to the 38-yard line. He finds Tavon Whitlock on the left side. Kansas City brought the blitz there, and Lott did a great job of staying in the pocket and delivering an accurate throw.
Corner blitz coming from the left side. Watch Corey Lockett step right, step right, step right. Bought himself just a half a second, enough to get rid of that ball and find his man deep down the left sideline.
First and 10. Lott's going to be throwing the ball once again. Rush coming up the middle. He tosses it underneath. It is complete. Flag down on the play. And it's going to be a roughing the passer call. And talk about something that might give this young quarterback a little bit of confidence. He's going to get a free 15 yards after dumping that one off underneath. And the Denver Broncos inside the red zone. This looks like a totally different Corey Lott than the first two drives.
Way to hang in there, young fella. Way to hang in there. But that ball looked like it got away from him just a little bit. I thought it might have sailed to that linebacker. But the wide receiver did a great job adjusting to that ball in the air. And he was able to catch that underneath route and pick up some yards. And then it was roughing the passer. So it worked out double for these Denver Broncos.
I just got to settle down that adrenaline and deliver some accurate throws on first and 10. Lott's going to be throwing it once again. Looks over the middle. A tip ball, and this one's intercepted by Marcus Peters. He's got a lot of room down the right side. He's at the 50, the 40. You can try to catch Marcus Peters, but nobody is going to hit him. He's into the end zone for a big 84-yard pick six. And the wheels have fallen off in Denver. Another tip ball, another tight throw into tight coverage, Bomber. And it just turned into 6 points for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, you're looking at Coach Ryan over there. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. He's wondering, we're a ground and pound team. We were a ground and pound when we had Paxton Lynch, and he was playing some of his best football. And now we're coming in here with this rookie quarterback, and it's almost like we're overthinking it, and we're putting him in positions to essentially fail. Passing the ball into tight coverage like that, creating tipped ball situations. It's not going to work out for Denver. That's a second tipped interception for the rookie.
Yeah, you got to think that somebody's got to be screaming into the ears of the Denver Broncos, run the ball. This is a Kansas City team that struggled to stop the run all year, and the Denver Broncos are playing right into their hands, of course, with the two very talented cornerbacks in Marcus Peters and Jalen Ramsey. This is a Kansas City team that is built to stop the pass, and the Denver Broncos are letting their young quarterback, Corey Lott, air it out. First and 10, he's going to be passing it again. Looks over to the right side. It is complete. He's going to get 9 yards. We'll call it a long 8 to the 33-yard line. And they're going to try to hurry up to the line here and get something going, down 17-0.
NBL Bleacher reports that Tavon Whitlock, NBL Season 22 first-round wide receiver selection for the Denver Broncos, surpasses 1,000 yards again in his career. 4th in a row. Congratulations. Big hit over the middle. Number 51, laying the wood on Denver wide receiver. But how great has Tavon Whitlock's career been? Potentially an NBL Players Hall of Fame nominee. Definitely a nominee. Maybe an inductee.
Yeah, he has been nothing but spectacular here in the NBL. Congratulations to Whitlock going over 1,000 yards. 2-minute warning. Denver Broncos down to the 43-yard line. I formation. It's going to be a lot dropping back to pass, and he's going to fumble the ball, and it's picked up, and the big man is rumbling to the end zone. Kansas City has their second defensive touchdown of the day. A scoop score, touchdown for the Chiefs, and Bomber, we talk about how there's always plenty of time here in the NBL, and there's always plenty of time to come back, but at this point, 23-0 is your score. Hard to see Denver coming back from this one.
24-0, on pace for 40-plus. I'm going to ask the chat this. Do you think Kansas City reaches 40 points in this game? If so, put yes in the chat. If you don't think so, put no and put why. At this point, I couldn't see it happening any other way. Denver's probably going to bench a lot at this time. We're probably going to have to pass it down to TFA soon.
24-0 now, Kansas City on top. 1:53 to go, and the young Corey Lott picked off of the Chiefs practice squad. It's been a rough game for him. He's thrown 3 interceptions and fumbled it. And 2 of those went just for touchdowns. Didn't even need to bring the offense back out on the field. The Kansas City Chiefs just took that one straight to the house, and now Denver's going to get the ball back. They're down 24-0 to start this drive here with 1:53 to go. Let's send it down to TFA. TFA, is there now talks of benching the young Corey Lott?
Yeah, it is complete chaos down here on the Denver sideline. Lott went to run out onto the field, got pulled back by the head coach. There was a little bit of discussion, but I don't think we're going to see him coming back in the game.
Yeah, he's not in the game. as the Denver Broncos going with a new quarterback here now. 1st and 10 shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to hand it off to McIntosh over the left, or excuse me, over the right side. He's not going to get anything there. Only a yard to go. Bomber, tell us a little bit about who is in the game now, starting for the Denver Broncos, and he has a big hole to dig this team out of.
Well, that's number 7 for the Denver Broncos, and that's not John Elway. That's Jackson.
Are you sure?
University of Hawaii rookie, 6'3", 220. I'm fairly sure. Close to 20/20 vision. 6th-round pick this year in the draft. QBR of 62.8, 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions thus far, but a nice throw.
Nice
over
throw
the
by
middle,
Kinder.
Touch pass. A lot of people are finding, a lot of rookies are finding their tight end in the NBL this season. It's been a little bit of a safety blanket, and it's going to continue trending with Jackson Kinder as well.
Yeah, Kinder throws it over to the right side. It is complete down to the 45-yard line. Minute 7 to go in counting. Denver looking to just get something out of this drive, as they will get the ball to start the second half, so that is a little bit of respite, but they're down 24-0. Kinder dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 2. He's looking deep on the left side, and, oh, Jalen Ramsey just takes that one away. Another interception from the Denver Broncos side. Ramsey's 2nd pick on the day. And, well, Bomber, I think we're going to have to find about some new topics to talk about in the second half. Kansas City's up 24-0, and they've just picked off Kinder for the first time. The 4th interception on the day for this Kansas City defense.
Maybe we need to ask TFA if John Elway's actually somewhere in the building, somewhere around.
Can we, TFA, is Elway, do you see him anywhere down there suiting up? What are we talking about? Is Jay Cutler back in Denver?
Guys, I am running all over the facilities here. I can't seem to find Elway anywhere. If I find him, I'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, find out if he's going to be suiting up at any point. I know he's over 50 at this point, but the way this is going, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to score over 50 in this game. 24-0. Kansas City on top as we're nearing the end of this first half. If you're joining us for the first time, folks, first of all, appreciate you tuning in. Kansas City up 24-0. These are 2 teams at 7 and 5 in the AFC West, battling for the top of the division. Denver Broncos with a new quarterback. Well, now their 2nd new quarterback of the game in Kinder into the ball game. Paxton Lynch, the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, leading this number 8 passing attack. He was injured in the last game and is not starting today here on NBL Live. And the Denver Broncos, the one thing that nobody's talking about right now, this Denver Broncos team is 0-8 on NBL Live. Throughout this cycle, owner Porter has not been able to get his team a win on NBL Live. He has tried everything from motivational speakers to voodoo shamans. He can't get anything going for his team, and it's not looking good right now.
The defense started off very strong for the Denver Broncos. We saw a lot of rush passes from Trey McIntyre. TM3 was really struggling to get time in the pocket, and it just seems like I see the same blitzy mentality from Denver. I just don't see the same passion from the defense right now. It seems like they're kind of morally, hit, man. They realize they lost their quarterback, Paxton Lynch, and there's not really anybody on that sideline that can really rally these troops. 8
seconds to go. McIntyre dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. He looks over to the left side. It is complete, and it looks like Kansas City is going to get the opportunity to put more points on the board with 4 seconds to go. Kansas City looking to go up 27-0. An absolute thumping here at home, and Denver is going to have one hell of a halftime speech. We say no game is ever over until the 000s are on the clock, but Kansas City up 27-0 at the half. And the offense hasn't really had to do a whole lot. Bomber the defense with 14 points and has really suffocated the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, the offense does what it does. It's consistent, and it keeps it simple. We saw them get into some 3rd and longs. They ran a screen a couple times, a couple out routes, really safe throws. And that's what you get with Kansas City, but their defense is going to put points on the board for them, and that's when you get into trouble. And Denver looks like they're going to let another division. They jumped off early in this division, and they were ahead by quite a few games. Now they're at a tie with Oakland. Oakland's 8-5. Denver's currently 7-5, probably going to fall to 7-6. Kansas City's going to improve to 8-5 with this win, essentially, pending this win. It kind of puts Denver in a tough situation right now.
Nice throw there by Kinder, able to get a first down over to the 40-yard line. Let's throw it down to our sideline reporter, TFA. TFA, you were down on the Denver sideline as they came out of halftime. What was the message to the team? Is there any hope for this team? Do they look confident, or is this a team looking like they're going to lose this game?
They don't look confident at all. Everybody kind of marched out with their heads held low. It's a very sad scene down here.
How about on the side of the Kansas City Chiefs? They're up 27-0. Any talk about pulling Trey McIntyre early or any of their starters, or is this a division game and they're looking to make a statement here in Kansas City?
Yeah, this is definitely a statement game. They want to leave him in there. They want to prove to everybody that they're still the team to beat in the AFC. So they're going to leave him in there. I don't know if it's the best decision. I think you might sit him down on the sideline, have him play some cards with some of his defensive backs, and you know, ride off into the sunset.
2nd and 7 now for the Denver Broncos. Kinder in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Nobody in the backfield. Kinder's going to be dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 7. Blitz coming right up the middle. He finds a man wide open on the right side. He has the first down. Little spin move. He's going to get past the 30-yard line up to the 28. I don't think that spin move actually made him miss anybody, but it looked really cool on the right side of the field. Denver with a first down.
A little bit about Jackson Kinder. Not the strongest arm, but he has a really nice release, a really high release. Comes down strong with it, and he has, surprisingly, a very accurate quarterback from the University of Hawaii. Just didn't have the throw power to really be a successful starting quarterback in the Madden Bomber League.
Back in formation for Kinder, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Kinder's going to be driving back to pass here on 1st and 10. He is roaming. He's looking over to the left side. That one's just going to fall out of bounds. Incomplete pass. And while we have a moment, folks, first of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to broadcast number 112 here of NBL Live. I'm Oshu. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber and the 3rd member of our team, TFA, down on the sidelines. If you haven't had a chance, head over to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the Join tab, you can find the application page for our Madden 18 EA Access Tournament from August 17th to 21st. First prize is a signed Antonio Brown jersey. It's free to enter. You just need EA Access and an Xbox. It's a nice throw there by Kinder down to the 6-yard line. They're going to have a 1st and goal from the 6. It is free to enter, and we're going to be giving out prizes all the way to 8th place, as well as raffling off prizes to everybody. Bomber, it's going to be a big show. We're going to be doing a 12-hour live stream of the first round. This tournament is colossal. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Win an Antonio Brown jersey, GOAT edition of Madden 18, plus a bunch of other prizes. We're going to be giving away 12 to 15
What?
prizes.
The Denver Broncos have scored a touchdown!
Wow.
I'm shocked. It is unbelievable. The not John Elway, number 7. That is instead Kinder throwing the touchdown. And the Denver Broncos, I don't know if they have a little bit of life, but the heart monitor is beeping just a bit as they're down 27-7 now. Nice drive there by Kinder.
Well, you know, a little taste of his own medicine. It looks like Denver says, hey, man, they can run out routes on us. Why can't we run out routes on them? And they give him a little taste of that. He throws it in there, zips it in. A well-covered route as well. And Jackson Kinder finds his first touchdown of this game. And maybe you get a little momentum here. Maybe your defense can come up with a big play, and then we got ourselves a 2-possession game, and we got a ball game headed into the 4th.
Yeah, but back to this EA Access Tournament, Bomber, a 12-hour live stream, that signed Antonio Brown jersey and a copy of Madden 18. 2nd place gets a custom controller and a copy of Madden 18. There are going to be a ton of prizes given out, and it should be just a great opportunity for everybody to get their first taste. Yeah, and it's free, and you get to taste the Madden 18 game for the first time. Lawrence Ganther able to get 4 yards there. Going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And while we have a moment here in the 3rd quarter, I want to give a big shout out to our graphic sponsor, web3ks.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live and a ton of other graphics for us. So if you need graphics done for an affordable price, head over to web3ks.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. 2nd and 6. Trey McIntyre under center. 4 wide receivers out there. McIntyre's going to be dropping back to pass. Looks out in the front. It's intercepted! And he's got a lot of room! And we got a ball game here on NBL Live, folks! The Denver Broncos defense get a touchdown! And all of a sudden, that fat lady's going back to her dressing room. It's a ball game here. Broadcast number 112.
112 might be the curse breaker. They get down 27-0, dig themselves a hole that they couldn't imagine climbing out of with a young quarterback. They swap quarterbacks. Here we are, pending this extra point, 27-14.
And it is good.
And they're right back in this.
Yeah, don't tune out yet, folks. Anything can happen here on NBL Live. Let's throw it down to TFA. What is the sideline like on the Denver side of the ball? They've got to be ecstatic.
People are jumping up and down everywhere down here. They cannot wait to get back on the field here. They're hoping to make another big play on defense. If you're the Chiefs right now, I mean, I don't get why you're coming out. You got a 27-point lead. You know, you might got played a little bit safer. I don't know why you're being so aggressive right here.
This is a confident Kansas City team, and as we mentioned at halftime, this is a team that wants to make a statement, but the Denver Broncos, 14 unanswered points here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. And all of a sudden, that 27-point lead is down to 2 scores. 14-27 your score right now. Kansas City with the ball. The Denver Broncos playing with a ton of confidence. The momentum might have shifted a little bit here in Kansas City. Pistol formation for Trey McIntyre. He's going to come down under center. 2 tight ends on the right side of that formation. 2 wide receivers. Going to be handoff to Ganther right up the middle. And the Denver Broncos are going to stop him for a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. We'll see if the Denver Broncos can dig out of this hole, Bomber, but you got to admit right now momentum has shifted, and the Denver Broncos, on the defense side of the ball at least, are playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, they got the swagger back. It's 27-14. You're down 2 scores right now. This is an opportunity. There's plenty of time left. 3:30 left in the third quarter. You got a quarter left. It looks like Kansas City's going to head back to their bread and butter. A little slide play here coming up. Play action, Trey McIntyre rolling out.
And a nice hit made, and the usually sure-handed Griebel dropping the ball. And now we got a 3rd and 7, and the Denver Broncos maybe getting a couple breaks to go their way. If they can get a stop here, it is a whole new ball game. This was a game that looked like we were going to have to discuss the latest cooking recipes we've been trying out, because we aren't going to be able to talk about the game, and the Denver Broncos say not so fast.
Here we go.
We got a game
down.
And off to Lawrence Ganther right up the middle, and Ganther does what he does so well. He gets the first down up to the 38-yard line. You got to think if you're the Denver Broncos, you got to know Ganther's going to be getting the ball there on 3rd down. He is their money back, and he was able to get 10 yards on that play.
Easy gain right there. When you put yourself in a 3rd and 7, you know, 9 out of 10 teams are going to pass the ball there, but not the Kansas City Chiefs. They're willing to do either or to move the ball up the field.
Handoff to Durant over the left side, who shakes off a tackler. He fights forward to the 47-yard line. Will Durant, 8-yard gain on that one. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2. This Kansas City rushing attack continues to roll. But the Denver Broncos, they got to get a stop here and stay in this game. 27-14, Kansas City on top. Shotgun formation for Trey McIntyre. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield with Trey McIntyre. A 2nd and 2. It's going to be a handoff to Durant right up the middle, and he has the first down and more. And now the Kansas City rushing attack has gotten going, and the Denver Broncos playing very conservative. They are only rushing 4 at a time. You got to think if the Kansas City keeps running like this, the Broncos are going to have to put more guys in the box.
Yeah, it's been a struggle the whole game. The middle of the field has been a soft spot for the Denver Broncos defense, especially against the run. And that's something they have to clean up to stop them. They got to hold them to – they need to stop them from getting in field goal range here. Just a couple more yards to go.
And off to Lawrence Ganther over the left side. He has the first down and more. Look at him wind and weave his way through traffic. Give him 14 yards on that play. And another first down for the Kansas City Chiefs, who realize that they've blown a 27-point lead, but they don't want to give it up just yet. Lawrence Ganther has gotten rolling, and the Kansas City Chiefs, just all of a sudden, Bomber, they're in field goal range.
And just like that, a little deflating for the Denver Broncos defense, but if they can hold them to 3 here, they're still just a 2-score game.
Conley coming in motion from the right over to the left side. 1st and 10, it's going to be handoff to Ganther right up the middle. He's not going to get a whole lot there. Going to only get a yard on that one, but we've seen this on 2 straight plays, actually 3 straight plays, Bomber. The Denver Broncos going for some big hits and just whiffing on tackles. This is the moment where you just need to be safe and bring down the running back.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you got to key in on the running back here and stop going for these aggressive hit stick tackles. They're trying to lay the lumber. I understand why, but you really got to slow it down and just really make the open field tackle and not give up any yards. And see falling forward again is the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's another play action they like to run. You know, you see these play actions with 3 guys running to one side of the field. They like to flood your zones. We've seen it a lot lately. We saw it early in the game. This is the play style of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, DeChristopher, the fullback with the catch there. He's going to get 5 on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 4, and a big moment here for the Denver Broncos, looking to not only stop the Kansas City Chiefs, hold them to a field goal, but save some time, as they're going to need some of that to get back in this game, as we're under a minute to go here in the third quarter. 3rd and 4. McIntyre switching up the play on 3rd down. He's going to hand off to Lawrence Ganther. He's got a big hole on the right side again. He's got another first down, another 9-yard gain, and once again, the Denver Broncos on 3rd and 4, a 4-man rush, excuse me, and the Kansas City Chiefs are eating it up. The Denver Broncos cannot stop this rushing attack.
Yeah, it's almost like Denver's playing the pass. They're looking for that one mistake in the passing game, while Kansas City just walking the ball up the field and just running it down their throats.
1st and 10, I formation for McIntyre. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 1st down. He looks over to the left side for Adams, who completes it. He breaks the tackle, and I think he actually lost the first down on that play. He did, as it looks like he's going to...
Mixon's down.
Yeah, Mixon is down. We'll send it down to TFA once he gets word on what is going on with Mixon, who's been a big part of this defense. 6 tackles on the day, and he's able to bring down Adams for an 8-yard gain. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. 3 tight ends for the Kansas City Chiefs. And second down is going to be a handoff to Lawrence Ganther, who cuts it back up the middle. I think he's got the first down there to the 4-yard line. He does indeed. 1st and goal. Ganther 2 yards shy of 100 yards. This is a guy who was, again, the replacement for TJ Yeldon, and Bomber, ever since he replaced Yeldon last season, he has been a star for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he's been special. He's been a guy that nobody really knew coming into a couple seasons ago, and he's really made a name for himself, and he's a household name in Kansas City.
Handoff to Lawrence Ganther, and finally the Denver Broncos able to get some sort of penetration. They bring him down for a 1-yard loss. That's going to take us to the fourth quarter. Your score right now, Kansas City 27, Denver 14. We appreciate everybody tuning in to broadcast number 112 here on MBL Live. AFC West matchup here in Week 14. It is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber, and of course the third member of our crew, TFA, down on the sidelines. Second and goal, little option play, shovel option to Ganther. He threw that into traffic.
Wow,
Ganther somehow to come up with that. And we're getting word down from the sideline. TFA, you found out what's going on with Mixon. What's going on down there?
Yeah, it's going to be a bruise from him. They're working it out right now. They don't believe that he's going to be able to come back to the game, so he is likely out for the rest of the game right now.
Yeah. Tough loss for the Denver Broncos. He's been a defensive leader, and it was their tackle leader so far in the day, and now they're going to be without Mixon for the rest of the game, trying to come back from a 27-0 deficit. It's 27-14. McIntyre's going to be in the shotgun, 2 in the backfield. That is Ganther to his left, Jose to his right. He's got 3 wide receivers out there to the right, 1 to the left. On third and goal, it's going to be handoff to Lawrence Ganther. Who else? And finally, the Broncos able to make a tackle on a third down running play. What a tackle in space, bringing down Ganther for only a 1-yard gain. And Kansas City, they're going to have to kick a field goal here, which is not only big because that's going to put them up 30-14. It is still a 2-score game. But the big one, Bomber, is they used up the entire third quarter with that drive because Denver couldn't get off the field on third down.
Yeah, big third down. We were calling the third quarter. It was about a 3rd and 7. They ran the ball up the middle of the field, and it was wide open. They picked it up fairly easy, and that's a play that Denver can look back on and say, you know, we should have came up with a stop there. You know, it was 27-14. That was an opportunity to swing some momentum and put up some more points in the third. Didn't happen. And here we are. It's still a 16-point game with a lot of time left, and we've seen crazier things happen on NBL Live.
And if it's your first time joining us here, NBL rules state you cannot kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, so you won't see the clock getting killed by the Kansas City Chiefs if they get the ball back, so plenty of time left in this game. 30-14, Kansas City on top. It's going to be a play-action pass. Kinder dropping back to pass rush coming up the middle, and Kinder just stared him in the eyes and took the sack from Bo Harnett. He goes down for a 9-yard loss. A bold move there. I think he tried to Jedi mind trick him here. And now the Denver Broncos are going to use a timeout. It seems like here on this first drive as they're trying to complete this comeback and get something going, the wheels have sort of fallen off.
Yeah, I'm confused by maybe he thought he's not really there. He's not really there. He's not really there. And then at the last second,
there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Oh crap! He is
He's
really
here.
There.
He's actually here.
He's actually there.
That is a 300-pound defensive lineman eating you up in the backfield. He took that hit, loses 9 yards. 2nd and 19 for Kinder, who gets hit once again, and it's going to go down. Incomplete pass. Kinder has been good in this game, but you got to think now it's a 3rd and 19. It's a tall order for the young Kinder to come in and make a play and complete this comeback, trying to break the Porter curse in Denver.
It's going to be interesting. 3rd and 19. What are they going to do here? And is this 4th down territory for the Denver Broncos, down 16 right now? Maybe they pick up a little bit and run a little screenplay, see how much they can get, and then decide if that's going to be an opportunity for them to run anything on 4th down.
3rd and 19, shotgun formation for Kinder. 3 wide receivers over to the right, 1 to the left. Kid in the backfield as the play clock down under 7 seconds to go. 5:01 to go in the game. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and Kinder's going to get the ball off here on 3rd and 19. He rolls out to the left side. He's looking over to the left side. Has a man. It's completed. He's going to be just short of the first down to the 32-yard line, but what a throw, and I believe that was Tavon Whitlock with his 4th catch of the day. They get 16 back, going to bring up a 4th and 3, and you got to think it's 4-down territory at this point.
Absolutely. This is a time where Denver has to say, you know what, we got to put it all on this rookie. 4th and 3. We need this first down to stay alive.
Is it just me, or did that look like a play the Kansas City Chiefs would run on a 3rd and 19? That deep
that was a little
route.
more dangerous than Kansas City likes to play it.
4th and 3. Denver trying to stay in this game. Dropping back to passes Kinder. He looks over the middle of the field. He has a man. It's complete. And the Denver Broncos from 3rd and 19 get a first down. And now they get the hurry-up offense rolling. It's going to be Kinder in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers over to the right. Whitlock alone to the left. Kinder dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. Looking deep. Has a man. It's complete. He has a big gainer down to the 34-yard line. And the Denver offense rolling here, trying to stay in this game. It's not over yet, folks.
As we saw number 91 right there, man, that guy looks like the biggest guy on the field, chasing him down in open field. Very impressive tackle right there. Might have been a score-saving tackle as well.
1st and 10, 3 wide receivers. 4 Kinder, 2 to the right, Whitlock alone to the left, McIntosh in the backfield. It's going to be Kinder dropping back to pass, rush coming, and he throws an interception to Pettis right over the middle of the field. That's probably going to be the dagger. Kinder's first bad throw. It didn't need it at this time. They were rolling. It was tight coverage once again. Kinder tried to fit it into a tight window, and that, folks, might be the one that ends this comeback. But Bomber, thoughts on that throw? Was that just Kinder overestimating what he could do down inside the 30-yard line?
Hey, I'm still stuck on that defensive end. I mean, a bad throw right there, but the 6'6" Quantarius Booth, 6'6", 291 pounds, was the guy that made the play in the open field as a big hit by number 59.
You're still on the one before the interception.
A little late hit.
I'm sorry, could you tell me what his first name was once again?
His name is Quadarius.
Gotcha.
Quadarius Booth, 6'6", 291 pounds, second year from Georgia Tech. 6'6", 291, and he's catching guys at the defensive end, catching guys in the open field. Very impressive.
Oh, it's fumbled by Ganther, and he's able to come up with his own fumble. Could have been disaster there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you surprised they're still throwing the ball here with 3:15 to go, up 16?
Trying to put the nail in the coffin. Kansas City, they always like to get you leaning one way and then kind of throw a little bit of a wrench in their plans, and it kind of gets you off balance, and that's what they're trying to do here. Maybe overthinking is there goes TM3, taking an unnecessary hit in a 16-point game.
Yeah, running a little read option there. He tries to take it to the outside. He's going to be dropped. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard gain. This Kansas City team benefited by 2 defensive touchdowns. They're up 30-14 on 2nd and 8. It's going to be hand off to Ganther right up the middle. He's up over 100 yards on the day, 23 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Bomber, it's interesting to note, if you don't have those 2 interceptions, the 2 defensive touchdowns, this is a 16-14 game, and Denver's right in it. It all comes down to Denver unable to win the turnover battle with 6 turnovers on the day.
Yeah, and a couple of those turnovers came in field goal, potential for this team. So that's another interesting stat to look at if you're Denver.
As this throw over the middle to Adams is complete down to the 29-yard line. Yeah, and not only that, did they have a couple on inside the opposing territory where they could have gotten points. Denver also threw an interception inside their own 20-yard line, which gave Kansas City a short field. They were able to punch that in for a touchdown. So really, at the end of the day, Bomber, I know Kansas City up 30-14, but is this a case of Kansas City winning this game or really Denver losing this game?
Oh, Denver's outmatched. Not having Paxton Lynch hurts them, but Kansas City definitely run this game. They won it in the trenches. Their offensive line dominated the defensive line of the Broncos, and they're continuing to do it now. Another big hit, number 57, laying the wood down on Gunther. I think you get him out of here at this point.
Yeah, I think Denver's, at this point, Kansas City's still running the ball here, under 2 minutes to go. They're up 16 in a field goal range. Denver, now at this point, just trying to hit them as hard as possible. If Kansas City's going to keep running the ball, they're going to go after their players. It's going to be McIntyre in the shotgun with Ganther. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Lawrence Ganther right up the middle once again as he shakes off a tackler. Going to get up to the 24-yard line. Denver's going to use their last timeout. A minute 48 to go. Now a 3rd and 4 for the Kansas City Chiefs, as they're looking to Bomber. Let's look at this division now, assuming nothing crazy happens. Kansas City moves to 8-5 in a tie with the Oakland Raiders. Denver's going to drop to 7-6. Who do you like in the division, and does the other team make the playoffs? And are the Denver Broncos out of this now with this loss?
Yeah, I think Denver's out. I think this was a must-win for them, and they kind of fell apart. Interesting down the stretch, Kansas City has a fairly easy schedule. They finished with the Los Angeles Rams, which I don't think that's going to be I think that's a bit winnable game for them. Very comparable teams. I think Kansas City is a little bit better of a team than them, even though the record doesn't show it right now. But they have the Indianapolis Colts, who are 2-10, and the San Francisco 49ers in Week 16 that are 2-11. They finished with the Rams. I think this team ends up at 11-5. I think they run the table and they win their division.
Kansas City attempting the field goal, up 30-14. Ball is down. Kick is up, and it is good. They extend their lead to 33-14 with a minute 26 to go. Denver surely not going to give up on this game. They're going to come out and try to put some points on the board and make this a little successful. But Porter's Broncos now move to 0-9. We don't have them on the schedule again. let's throw it down to TFA. TFA, does this look like a Denver team that is cursed, or is this a team that just finds a way to play poorly here on NBL Live?
I think they just find a way to play poorly. I don't think that they can handle the bright lights on the big stage. I don't think that they're a big game team. So I don't think that they necessarily go into these games and they mean to not compete, but I just think they always make too many mistakes.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that, in this game, Kansas City up 33-14. This one has been decided for a while as another sack for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Gale's able to get the sack there. But another interesting thing is in just one of our last NBL Live games, they played off against the San Francisco 49ers. They scored a deep touchdown, almost a miracle touchdown with under a minute to go, and then gave up one back. It seems like those mental lapses come into play for the Denver Broncos. As Broncos are going to move to 0-9 on the NBL Live cycle. We'll see if his team can get a win in Madden 18 as that pass underneath. Kinder, 11 of 15, 178 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. He has played admirably in relief of Corey Lott, the young quarterback who came in to start this game off the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad, and it was frankly disaster for him. He threw 4 interceptions and fumbled the ball, 2 of those going for touchdown as that pass is complete down to the 49-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th and 2 now for the Denver Broncos. 25 seconds and counting. Broncos have no timeouts, just trying to get some points on the board. Kinder looks over the middle of the field. Almost looked like his own wide receiver Campbell tried to intercept that ball from his own player.
They're chasing stats. They're chasing stats at this point.
This is my catch here. It does get first down, though. 6 seconds to go. They're going to take one more shot to the end zone. As it's going to be a play-action pass. Kinder dropping back. He's looking deep over the middle of the field. It's an incomplete pass, and that's going to take us to triple zeros on the clock. Your final score from Kansas City, the Chiefs coming out with a win in this one, 33-14 over the Denver Broncos. What a win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bomber, your thought on the not only the Chiefs, but the Broncos in this game, and did this go the way that you thought it would?
Yeah, I thought it would be a dominating performance for Kansas City due to the injuries in Denver. I think even a healthy Denver team would have made it a little bit more competitive, but I don't think they would have came away with the victory. I just think Kansas City is just a better ball club at this point of the season. And Lawrence Ganther, I mean, that's my NBL broadcast number. What is it? 112 player of the game. 100%. And if we could give it to the offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs, I would as well. They definitely just dominated the trenches today for this team, and that's where we're at right now. Kansas City can power run you, they can pass it on you, and their defense is top 3, top 4 in the league against the pass, and that's what makes them so deadly.
Yeah, Lawrence Ganther, what a game he had. A big shout-out, though, to Jalen Ramsey and Marcus Peters. Ramsey with 2 interceptions, Peters with a pick 6. They played great, but Lawrence Ganther was really the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs, when it was cut down to a 13-point lead, they needed their big running back to step up, and he stepped in, and what a game he had. Lawrence Ganther, your NBL Live Player of the Game selection for broadcast number 112. And if you want to check out the archives of all of our Player of the Game selections, head over to our website. It's at 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the NBL Live tab, you can check out all the way back to broadcast number 1, our NBL Live Player of the Game. And also, while you're there, sign up for our EA Access tournaments under the Join tab. It is free to enter. And if you win, you get that NBL, that NBL copy of Madden 18 GOAT Edition and Antonio Brown signed jersey. It's going to be a fun tournament. We're going to be doing a 12-hour stream on day 1 of the tournament, August 17th through 21st. So go sign up for that. And Bomber, we are running down to playoff time now. Week 15 coming up. And I believe, let me throw up that live schedule. I believe week 15 right now, we have the 49ers and the Buccaneers. I believe we'll be flexing that game. A couple of intriguing games on the schedule. The Bears and the Dolphins both sitting there at 8-4, both fighting for their playoffs in the separate conferences. Bengals and Browns is going to be a great game. And this is sort of the time of year where we put the best matchups on NBL Live, and you don't want to miss because these games are against the best teams and the teams fighting for their playoff lives.
And before we get there, our NBL Live broadcast number 112 player of the game, Ganther eclipses 1,000 rushing yards according to Bleacher Report, just posted. Wow, impressive season for him. We still have 3 games left.
And let me throw one more game out there, Bomber, because this might be the one that does it. We haven't scheduled this game yet, so if you want to find out the game that actually gets scheduled, head over to Twitter at Bomber League. But week 15, the 9-3 Los Angeles Rams against the 9-2-1 Washington Redskins. What a game that's going to be.
That's going to be a very interesting matchup. and Redskins have a unique schedule towards the end of this season. It's a real test. If they walk out of here and run the table after the Lions and they beat the Rams, this is going to be a team that's going into the playoffs hot, and they got to be feeling like they have a good chance to repeat as Super Bowl champions. You can find our Super Bowl history on 365.maddenbomberleague.com. But man, that team right there is hot right now. These Washington Redskins are going to be a team to watch in the playoffs. Very exciting time for the NBL.
Yeah, again, head over to our Twitter at Bomber League. When we announce the game, it'll be posted there first. You can also just hit the subscribe button here on the YouTube channel, and you'll be notified every time we go live with one of our live programming. But that's going to do it for us here, folks. What a game we had on NBL Live. For my co-host, Bomber, and the third member of our crew, TFA, I'm OSU. Your final score, once again, the Kansas City Chiefs, big win, 33-14 over the Denver Broncos. We'll see you next week. Week 15 action here on NBL Live.